All right, citizens of Minnesota, we're back, and it's time for us to continue our Year 3 playoff run with your Minnesota Wild. And for the second time in 3 years, we've made it to the Western Conference Finals, boys. We should be celebrating. That's a successful story in itself. Now, 2 years ago, when we made it to the Western Conference Finals for the first time under GM Superb, man, we got kicked out against the eventual Stanley Cup winners, the Dallas Stars. But it was still a successful year. We got a few wins in the conference finals, and that meant that the Year 1 Minnesota Wild team had been the most successful Minnesota team of all time. So that was a good year. Year number 2, we had a drawback. We got kicked out in the first round. The only saving grace was it was against the Dallas Stars again, who again went on to win the Stanley Cup. So years 1 and 2, we lost to the eventual Stanley Cup champions. Now year 3, we don't have to worry about any defending Stanley Cup champion. The Dallas Stars are out of here. But the LA Kings, the Kings stand in our path in the Western Conference Finals. And this is not like year number 1 where I'm just grateful to have the appearance. I want to take the next step. I want to get the Wild into a place they've never been before, the Stanley Cup Finals, all right? So it's the Kings versus the Wild in the Western Conference Finals, boys. And I think it's time for the Wild to usurp these damn Kings. They've had enough damn success. It's time for the Minneapolis or Minnesota Miracle Men to come through. So we had a crazy playoff run so far. We got by the tough Nashville Predators, coming back 3-1, showing that this might just be our year. Round number 2, we went up against the President's Trophy winning Colorado Avalanche, and we proved that we can close out a series. We were up 3-1 against the Colorado Avalanche. We beat them in 5 games. So we've proved we can come back. We've proved that we can close out. I'm liking this year, man. I'm hoping that we can keep this up. Now, let's take a look at who we're going up against here in round number 3. I already showed you guys this in the last video. We're going up against the best teams in the Western Conference. We didn't get any luck with this. Every top seed made it through. So, on the first line, you got Milan Lucic, Anze Kopitar, and Tyler Toffoli. The 92 overall stud center brings that line up. Man, Lucic and Toffoli, I wouldn't say the greatest first-line wingers, but with that 92, I'm sure it's going to be fine. And it might also be a pretty good defensive first line. We know Kopitar can win the Selke, and Lucic with his physical category. All right, don't know what to make of that. Second line, Tanner Pearson, Jeff Carter, and Chris Versteeg. Same as the first line, you got the stud center. The wingers ain't nothing to write home about. But if Jeff Carter and Kopitar can get her done, the wingers won't hold them back. Third line, Dwight King, Nick Shore, I don't know his first name, and Kyle Clifford. A little bit of a weak third line center, but their wingers are fine. So they got some depth here, 1, 2, and 3. And then the fourth line, Jordan Nolan. Is that Dustin Brown playing fourth line center now? He's had the captaincy stripped away from him. And Lowry, 80. Okay, so, when I look at this team, I don't see any complete lines, like a 290s and a high 80, like we've seen in the past, especially with the Dallas Stars, Tyler Seguin and Jamie Benn. But they have something on every single line, even their fourth line, Dustin Brown. I'd imagine he's got some pretty good poise stats still. So I don't know what to make of that. Defensively, Jake Muzzin, 86, Drew Doughty, 94. So their power play, their penalty kill, their special teams is going to be tough because they're always going to have Doughty, Kopitar, or Jeff Carter out there. But after those two guys, it drops off a little bit. McNabb, 84, Martinez, 83, Green, 80, and Rundbland, 82. So when Doughty's not out there, they have no one above 84. Well, Muzzin, but Muzzin's played with Doughty, but 84 and below. Okay, so that's their weakness, their lack of defensive core. But they got Jonathan Quick in the net to make up for that. So I don't know, man. This could be. It kind of looks like a defensive series, but that back end of theirs looks kind of weak. Now you compare our lines to their lines. We got Zach Parise. Hopefully he can match up with Kopitar and Jeff Carter. And you can see how Tyler Johnson and Nino Niederreiter would be considered better than their wingers. Second line, Jeff Carter makes the second line better for them. Third line, I'd say even. Fourth line, I'd say even, maybe a little bit of an edge to them. Defensively, Suter and Falk. All right, Doughty really helps out that first line. Hopefully, Suter can shut him down. Second line, Spurgeon and Dumba. So our second line is much better, and we got an 84 on our top 6. Well, their best, third best defenseman was an 84. It's our fifth best defenseman. So we have the depth defensively, and the goaltender, Devin Dubnyk. I don't know what to make of this series, boys. This could go either way. This could be a high goal-scoring series. It could also be a defensive series with the goaltender, Jonathan Quick. He could shut us down all by himself, and maybe, just maybe, Ryan Suter and Parise. I mean, we've been a good defensive team, especially against the Colorado Avalanche. Towards the end, we were anyways. Yeah, 1 goal against, 2 goals against, 1 goal against. Yeah, I don't know what to make of it. You know what, boys? I'm going to stop talking. I'm trying to get my head wrapped around what the strategy should be, but it just, I don't know. I really don't. It's almost like you just got to play them and hope for the best. They don't have any clear-cut advantages or disadvantages. Just their lack of defensive core, but Jonathan Quick in the net. So enough talking, enough pre-scouting. There were no injuries for the LA Kings. They have a clean bill of health. So do we. Western Conference Finals on the road. Let's go. We must become the Kingslayers. Come on now, boys. I want to have good first periods, and we got to get to Jonathan Quick. First period. All right, we got to him. They scored, but we got to him. Nino Niederreiter gets one on Jonathan Quick. Jeff Carter answers back. Tie game. Shots are 12-9. Second period. All right. So defensive first game here. We're out shooting them 22-18. So we've been pouring on the offense. Our depth goal scoring maybe third and fourth lines. Let's see. Third period. 15 minutes. It's a one power play for the LA Kings, and they get one. Tyler Toffoli. He gives his team the lead. Power play from Minnesota. They do not score. Come on now, Minnesota. Tied up late. They don't. And it's a 2-1 victory in game 1 for the LA Kings. All right, so defensive series it looks like. Jonathan Quick. I still wouldn't put it past them getting a really good offensive game with Doughty and Kopitar and Jeff Carter. I mean, that's enough right there. But we may have trouble scoring on Jonathan Quick, boys. So I'm not going to make any line changes. We still have our ace in the hole. It was a close game, 2-1. I'm just going to trust the roster. Let's see what they can do. We prove we can come back, boys. We should be okay here. First period. All right. 11 shots apiece, 0-0 tie. Yeah, we're having a tough time. 4 periods. We only have 1 goal on Jonathan Quick. Come on now, offense. You guys have got to step up. Second period, we get one, Darren Helm, but then it's followed up by Anze Kopitar and McNabb on the point. So shots are 24-20 for the LA Kings, and they got a 2-1 lead. Come on now. Hang on. Don't let them take a 2-0 series lead. Come on now, Minnesota. There it is, Eric Howla. Now it's only 1. We still got to get at least 1 more on Jonathan Quick. That's going to be a tough. Yes, baby! Aberg, what a trade. Power play marker. Come on now, Devin Dubnyk. You can get her done. You got to hold off. You got to get us to home. Yes, he does. And Devin Dubnyk and the Minnesota Wild steal game number 2 with a rally in the third period. Eric Howla and Pontus Aberg, I think his first name is. 3-2 victory. Series is tied 1-1. All right. So we get to see some patterns here. Both games, the LA Kings scored 2 goals, so they may be a defensive team. So what could I do? I could always spark up my offense, get my offensive players playing with each other, score a lot of goals. Well, series is tied. It's been close. I don't even think any line changes would make a difference here. I think both teams are just pretty well evened out here. We have an advantage, they have an advantage, and then everywhere else it's pretty similar. So I don't know what to make of this. We are on home ice, though, boys. It's a series tied 1-1. Let's take a 2-1 series lead. Come on front of your fans. First period. Okay, we'll take that. So the games have been starting off slowly. Shots are 15-8 for us, so it looks like we're in the driver's seat. Keep it up, boys. Second period. Having a tough time getting goals. Devin Dubnyk has played well, though. He's played well since he's allowed the 2 in game 2. Hasn't allowed 1 yet. We need some offense, though. What's your name? Zach Parise. You've been quiet, and you've never been quiet in the playoffs before. I need you to step up. Here it is, boys. Game number 3, third period. Game is tied. Zach Parise! I called for it. He comes through. What a captain. Power play marker. It's not over yet. Oh, Zach Parise! I fucking love you. Holy shit. That's what a captain does, boys. Is he going to? Yes, he does. And Dano gets the empty netter. Dubnyk gets the shutout. And the Wild take a 2-1 series lead. That's what you need, you know? There are times where you just need your best players, the guys you're shelling out millions of dollars to just go out there and steal a game. Zach Parise literally did it by himself. Devin Dubnyk as well in the defensive core. I'm not taking it away anything from those guys, but I called him out, and he gets 2 power play markers in the first 10 minutes. Spurgeon to Parise from Niederreiter and Johnson, and Dano from Falk and Howla. All right. I'm acting like we're already in the Stanley Cup Finals. It's only a 2-1 series lead. But again, the pattern continues. The LA Kings are having a very tough time scoring on us. So the defensive lineups that we have, Ryan Suter might be shutting down Drew Doughty, right? They have, how many goals is that now? 3 goals? They got 3 goals in 3 games, and Devin Dubnyk's got a shutout. So, I mean, I don't want to jinx us. We're not making any line changes, but it seems like the matchups are working out for us. And Jonathan Quick, we've got some goals on in the last 2 games, right? So, I mean, this is working out. Let's keep it up, boys. We got home ice advantage here. We can take a stranglehold just like we did against Colorado. 3-1. Come on front of your fans. First period. Hey, yep, there it is. There's no way we're going to slow them down for that long, boys. Jeff Carter, Drew Doughty, and Lowry. I figured this could be an offensive series. There could be a few games, and looks like this is the one. I don't know if we're going to come back from this. Second period, nope, 4. 4 goals on Devin Dubnyk. 32-11 are the shots. Looks like the series is going to be evened. All right, don't worry about it, boys. You got the 2 wins already. Let them get this one. I knew they had this kind of game in them. They just did. Zach Parise gets another, so he's staying hot. Jared Spurgeon, all right, we're going to make a game out of it for the fans. At least they get something to cheer for. No, they don't. Milan Lucic buries it. Man, is Devin Dubnyk's out of there? Yeah, Devin Dubnyk's out of there. Ramos in there, boys. So we're going to lose with the worst hand in poker, 2-7, 7-2. Aye. Well, the good news is that if you're going to lose, get spanked. That way you can get fired up. The coach has all the excuses in the world to yell at you at the next practice. There's not going to be any excuse for you guys to not show up in the next game. So a 2-2 series tie. We played good the first 3 games. Game 4, they dominated us. It was a rout. All right, boys. So I'm not making any line changes. I still feel like we played good in the first 3 games. We could have actually won game 1 as well. Just got some offense there. And that was the first game their offense showed up. So I'm not making any changes. We still have our ace in the hole if I need to break it out. But boys, we need to win this, man. So we have a game 6 chance to win it on home ice, man. We can't. I don't want to go to 7, and I don't want to fall down 3-2 against these guys. Jonathan Quick will come back to bite us in the ass. So offense, I need you to steal a game now. Not Zach Parise late in the 3rd. I want 3 before the 3rd. Let's go, boys. First period. 3 before the 2nd. I love it. Tyler Johnson gets 2, and Mikhail Granny Smith, baby, with the deflection. Now, I have seen games where the computer can come back, so this game is far from over. But we got routed in the last game. Devin Dubnyk, you're not going to allow 3 in 40 minutes, are you? Not after that last game. Let's go, Devin. You can do it, buddy. Second period. All right, yes. And the LA Kings offense shows up in game number 4. Well, the exact same thing for the Minnesota Wild in game number 5. 6 goals before the 3rd period. Hell yeah, that's what I needed. No way they come back now. Devin Dubnyk's got this. Oh, shorthanded goal for Darren Helm. Well, boys, I mean, we don't want to embarrass them. Yeah, they got the worst hand in poker now. Oh, that's not good. They're going to be fired up for game number 6. Ooh, we raised your worst hand and we got an 8 in there. How about them apples, biatches? They embarrass us in front of home ice fans with 7 goals against. So the game right after, we go to their home and we get 8 goals. Ooh, man. All right, so Tyler Johnson, Parise had an assist in there. Granlund from Aberg and Spurgeon. Niederreiter from Parise and Falk. So Parise had another one. Parise, 3-point night for Parise. So say what you want about Parise, man. It seems like he's always come through in the playoffs for me. I know I had the first round exit, but he's never not showed up, you know? Even in a losing effort, he gets points, and he's continuing it here in round number 3. So, boys, we have 2 chances to win our franchise's first Western Conference Championship. The stage is set for a beautiful year. However, the stage is also set for a horrible upset. I don't even want to think about that. 2 teams with identical records. It's coming down to the nitty-gritty. Home ice advantage. The Western Conference Championship is in the building. Come on now, boys. You can get her done. I'm going to go a real-time simulation. These games are getting serious now, boys. So on front of the Minnesota Miracle men in the stands and women. Come on now, boys. Power plays for both teams. Nothing happens. The defensive, yeah, both teams are playing defensively. We got a power play, we don't score. Shots are 10-8 after the first period, score 0-0. So Devin Dubnyk is playing well. The last 2 games have been a shootout for both teams getting goals. So it makes sense that both teams are locking her down right now. Come on now, offense, I need you. Second period underway. Will the Minnesota Wild be able to claim a victory? Power plays galore, but they're not capitalizing on them. I think that's like 4 in a row for us. We don't get a freaking goal. You know, the refs are going to be blowing them for the Kings in the third period now. 2 periods deep. The score is 0-0. Devin Dubnyk versus Jonathan Quick. Suter versus Doughty. Parise versus Kopitar. Who's going to take it? The shots are 18-13. We are really shutting them down, boys. But we need offense. Come on, Game 6. This is going to be the site of Minnesota's greatest feat. So far, anyways. Well, here it is, boys. Third period. Come on, Minnesota. Penalty kill. I told you they're going to be blowing them for them. It's a long one. We kill it off. 10 minutes left. 8 minutes left. 5 power play. Oh, come on. No, Jake Muzzin. He's got to score late. Oh, first Dave with the empty netter. And the Minnesota Wild. They can't get a single freaking goal. What did I say? After a rout, the goaltender's going to play amazing. We get 8 goals. Jonathan Quick comes in the next game and gets a shutout. Oh, man. Oh, man. Well, it makes sense that it has to go to 7, boys. These 2 teams have fought tooth and nail, back and forth. If I don't make a line change, I will regret it if we lose. We pulled this out of our hat in round number 1 against the Nashville Predators. I think we need to do it again, boys. Jamel Smith to the first line. Nito Niederreiter to the second one with the second generation of Wild players. Aberg with Howla and Darren Helm. Dano with Spalling and Zucker. So Jamel Smith is getting the chance on the first line, boys. And also, he's getting the chance on the first line power play as well. He came through for us big in the Nashville series. I'm hoping that the ace in the hole can work out again for us. So Jamel Smith upgraded to the first line for game number 7. Will the coach have pulled the right card here, or is he going to be the GOAT? Please, please, please let it work, just like it did for Nashville. We're 3-0 with Jamel on the first line. Let it continue. Game 7, boys, in LA. Let's see what happens. I thought they scored a goal there early. Power play, we don't score. Jamel had a chance. Dano. Okay, that's 1. That's 1 in the slot. Power play for Minnesota. They don't score. They already have the 1-goal lead, though, and it's an early one. That's good. Okay. Slow it down here. The shots are 11-7. Marco Dano gets a goal. He's on the 4th line now, right? Yeah. Demoted to the 4th line, and he gets her done on the 4th line. Beautiful coaching decision so far. 1-0 lead, boys. Come on now, Devin Dubnyk, Zach Parise, Jamel Smith, Charlie Coyle. I haven't seen your damn name. Come on now, boys. I need you. Second period underway. 1-0 lead for the Wild. Penalty kill. They kill it up. Power play. Get one. Yes. Mikael Granlund, the fantastic fucking Finn. Another one. Oh, penalty kill. Kill it off. Okay. Ah, shit. Milan Lucic, you piece of shit. 5 minutes left. Come on, get to the end. Oh, Tyler Johnson. Yes. Okay, boys. 25 shots to 20. 3-1 lead for the Minnesota Wild. They're getting her done. Mikael Granlund, Tyler Johnson, and Marco Dano. So we're getting the first line, the second line, and the 4th line. We got the depth goal scoring right here. Devin Dubnyk. Doobie, I'm calling on you, brother. I will roll the greatest joint for you to have after this game if you can get this W for us. You got the routine in place. Doobie, you'll have your Doobie after here if you can get the win. And offense, 1 more, and that'll be enough. Come on, if we get the 4, that will be enough. 25-20 the shots. Third period underway. I'm not doing any locker room motivational speech. It's up to the players. Penalty kill. They do it. 10 minutes left. Come on, Minnesota! For the first time in franchise history! Oh, the Minnesota Wild are off to the Stanley Cup Finals! Yes, boys! Yes, we've won the Western Conference Championship! Yeah! Man, what a ride that was. The LA Kings, they took us to the brink. But in game number 7, with Jamel Smith on the first line, we win. That's 4-0 with Jamel Smith, boys. The ace in the hole. The ace in the hole. Dano from Spurgeon and Zucker. Granlund from Coyle and Dumba. Johnson from Parise and Klitzum. And Johnson from Zuter and Parise. So Parise had another 2-point night. Jamel Smith didn't do anything but just his presence on the first line, boys. His fucking presence. Man, what a bad back and forth series that was. Loss, win, win, loss, win, loss, win. I mean, thank God we took the advantage with the 2 wins in a row, but it was back and forth. That was a tough series, man. I could tell from the beginning. I just didn't know what to make of it. It seemed like it was a defensive series, but then there was 2 games where the teams just lit it up, right? So, yeah, it was just 2 teams that are very well matched. So I have to tip my cap to the LA Kings, but they have been usurped. We are officially the Kingslayers, the Minnesota Wild Lannisters, baby. Oh, Jamie, we're following in your footsteps. So let's move on. Oh, the Stanley Cup Finals against Pittsburgh and the Penguins. So Phil Kessel, Sidney Crosby, Geno Malkin, Chris Letang, Marc-Andre Fleury. Oh man, this is shaping up for a very good Stanley Cup Final. So boys, it's a successful year. Obviously, we want to take that next step. But the Minnesota Wild are in uncharted territory. For the first time in franchise history, we've made it to the Stanley Cup Finals. So, I mean, look what we've done in 3 years here. Western Conference exit, getting kicked out in the 3rd round to the eventual Stanley Cup champion Dallas Stars. Year number 2, kicked out in the 1st round to the eventual Stanley Cup winning Dallas Stars, back-to-back kicked out by the Stanley Cup champions, and now we've answered back with a Stanley Cup Finals appearance. So in 3 years, a 3rd, a 1st, and a Stanley Cup Finals appearance. Let's turn that into a cup ring, and that'll be a fantastic 3 years. All right, so let's just take a look at the stats here. Zach Parise is the man. That game where he showed up and scored the 2 goals there, what was it? It was game 3? What was it? Hang on. Yeah, it was game number 3. The series was tied to 1-1, and he came in and scored 2 goals late in the 3rd to give us that 2-1 series lead, and we never looked back. Zach Parise is the man after that. Holy crap. Oh, I'm going to lose my voice a little bit. That really got me excited. I thought they were going to come back and win it. With Jamel Smith on the first line. The guy's the best. I don't know what he does, but he gets it. For God's sakes. I'm in the season stats. I don't know what he does. It worked out when we did a live stream with the Dallas Stars. Now it's worked out again with the Minnesota Wild. You just put the guy on the team and you win for some reason. All right, so forwards. Let's see here. So Nino Niederreiter on the first line. Now, he's been demoted a few times for Jamel Smith, but that's okay because he was playing with Granlund, and I believe Granlund had a goal in that game, so he probably worked out on the second line. Zach Parise, 18 in 19 games played. Charlie Coyle, 14 and 19. Tyler Johnson, 11. A little bit weak for Johnson considering he's first-line center. But he had a big Game 7 there, so I'm fine with it. Granlund, 9 points. Aberg, 8 points. Oh, excuse me. I'm talking too fast here. I'm getting indigestion. Darren Helm, Marco Dano, Eric Howla, Jamel Smith, 4 points. He's a -1 now, boys. I don't care. We're winning. He's 4-0. Justin Falk, what a trade pickup that was. 15 points in 19 games played. Spurgeon and Suter. Okay. And Devin Dubnyk, my man. He came through big time. He's smoking that joint right now, boys. 12-7-0 with a save percentage of 92.87, almost at 93. Save goals against of 2.21. So he's a big reason why we're here as well. All right, we got a team this year, boys. We got everything we need, and we're only one step away from a Stanley Cup. And I don't even need to put a dynasty together with this team. I don't see it happening. I inherited an older team with contracts that I'm unable to move. So the bottom is going to drop out for the Minnesota Wild eventually with guys like Parise and Suter. And we're not going to be able to replace them just like that. There's going to have to be a rebuild. So with the window closing, I'm not looking for a dynasty. I'm looking for one Stanley Cup. That's it. One Stanley Cup and the fans will be satisfied. This could be the year, boys. I felt like the team was amazing last year and we dropped the ball. We took a hit a little bit, but we made trades, we made free agent signings, and 1 year later with a small retool, we're in the Stanley Cup Finals. I don't think we're going to be as good next year, so we've got to get her done. Any suggestions for lineups against the Pittsburgh Penguins, boys? Let me know. What should we do with Jamel Smith? I say back to the 4th. If we need him, the ace in the hole, bring him back up again. So let me know, boys, and I will see you in the Cup Finals, baby. Be sure to check out our website, 2bcsports.com, where the hockey talk continues. Find myself and others in the live interactive chat, or dive into the active forums to talk about sports and gaming. You can also find us on Twitch, where the live streams come to life.